Hey everybody, welcome, and thank you for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. My name is Zach Brittle, married with Laura Heck. This episode comes out on September 10th, which is the same day that our book comes out. It's called Reconnect. It's a marriage therapy workbook. If you have pre-ordered already, it's probably coming to your house today or soon. Maybe it's already there. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, please go to marriagetherapyradio.com and click on our link there. That's our affiliate link. And then, if you dig it, you can leave your 5-star review on Amazon.com. That'll really help the book, which helps the podcast, and we are grateful for that. The other big thing that's happening this week is we're rolling out some Patreon content for those of you who are enrolled in the Marriage Therapy Radio Book Club. Those emails will start to hit your inbox this week. We also have some special content that we have uploaded today. It's not in this podcast, but Laura and I had a whole discussion about happy endings. So if you're interested in that, all you have to do is be a Patreon member. You can do that again by going to marriagetherapyradio.com and following the links there. Again, we are grateful for your support. In this episode, we start with a little bit of a spat that we work out pretty fast, and then lean into some experiences that we had both personally and professionally that help shape the way that we think about relationships. I hope it'll be a good episode for you. So pick up the book. You can do that at marriagetherapyradio.com. Become part of our Patreon community. You can do that at marriagetherapyradio.com. And I hope you'll take away something valuable from this podcast, which you can do right here. This is a very cool conversation. Stick around. I do have a beef that I'm mad about with both you and Rebecca, which is I've been growing this butthole mustache for like a month and a half, and nobody has said one word.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's so gross.
No, here's what happens. I actually really like it when you grow your mustache, but you have to shave the sides. If you want anybody to notice.
For almost since the beginning of...
Bick it.
No.
Yep. Your face looks great. Let's see more face, more mustache.
Anyway, I'm about ready to get this mustache because it hasn't paid me any dividends. Not one person has mentioned it.
Don't do it.
Now I'm in this.
Do it.
Now I can taste it in the pool. When I swim, it comes into my mouth.
Okay.
It's gross.
Yeah. Maybe Rebecca doesn't want to give it any. Maybe she's sending you a message
that we're passing back and forth. She still doesn't say anything about it.
I had a session yesterday, and we were talking about oohs and ahs and just how important it is for you to ask for oohs and ahs, because there's so many things. I mean, your mustache, sure, maybe you need some oohs and ahs. I compliment you. I make some passive aggressive criticisms about your appearance. I mean, I talk about your appearance a lot. I don't know how I must have missed the mustache.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Well, you catch it because you only see me once a week, but she's been here every day.
Yeah.
Abby caught it. She was like, what's the deal with your face?
What's this? Hey, can we talk about how was the concert? I thought about you guys last weekend because I even texted you. Remember? I texted you, how did the concert go?
Yeah, you did. Good job. It was a really, really sweet time for us. In fact, if I sort of said, I kept my cool the whole time because I was on the verge of tears the entire time and just like so happy, but I just kind of played it cool and just was like, this is fine. But if we pulled into the campground where we were staying with these friends of mine, and if we had turned around and gone back at that point, it would have been a great trip. Like the 2-hour talk we had in the car was insane. And then it was just a little party. Like it was like we were just at this like camping party for like 24 hours with a show in the middle. And she had a great time. I had a great time. I'm definitely old. I'm an old man. Like I cannot party or walk 2 miles to a concert where I then stand for 4 hours and then walk 2 miles back without like needing, some kind of assistance. But she had a great time. She stayed up till like 4:00 with all the people that were
oh my gosh,
hanging out afterwards and singing karaoke and playing cards. And I just was like, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah.
And we drove back, and it was a really sweet time. The show was great. Actually, I would say about the show itself, like it wasn't that great. Like I didn't really enjoy the music that he played because it was a little bit of a set list that I didn't love, but it didn't matter. Like I was just there. I remember going to the first Dave Matthews concert with my mom, like in 1997 or 6 or 4.
Full circle.
And then here I was with my kid, and she was having a great time, and it was just really, really, really sweet time. So thanks for asking.
Circle of life. That's great.
Yeah.
This kind of comes on a little bit of so Zach and I were, Here's how this is how our conversation started this morning. We pop on, we haven't hit record. I said, I just recorded a new video for Patreon, which, by the way, you haven't done any in a while. And
That is a
you
true thing.
paused, and like it was kind of like you short-circuited, because I could tell that you were working so hard not to get defensive when I was like, hi, good morning. By the way, you suck. And what you said to me started off this whole conversation, and I said we should be hitting record on this because it's interesting to listen to two therapists who have beef with each other work it out. So I don't know where we're at now, but you were just drawing to my attention a pet peeve that you have of yours. But then also I thought it was really cool that you were kind of saying, I need you to know, like, I understand you and who you are in your dynamic, which apparently is flighty, I believe is how you described it.
I did use that word a little while ago. I don't know if it's the right word, but it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally is. And it's just with you. It's not with other people.
Well, and that's where I kind of like, it's a really great little playground for me because I get to decide kind of on a regular basis how I'm going to respond. And it's not even respond to you. It's literally respond like in my own self. And I do. I like practice things inside and I try things out, and I try out getting angry, and I try out getting like just kind of letting it go. And I think one of the things I said to you is like, you might not know this, but I've done a pretty good job of just like letting things go. I just sort of like, okay, no big deal. I'm gonna try that out. But yeah, when you then said, but you didn't do this, you dropped this ball. I was like, bitch, please.
Can we talk about the 90 balls that you have
like
dropped in the last 5 years?
That I've had just like kicking around at my feet that I've decided not to worry about. That's Laura's ball. That's Laura's ball. Most importantly, though, of course, is whether or not I'm getting a foot massage when I come to Bend in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so I'm glad we're talking about that. This all started because he said, hey, are you aware of like our text conversations of how they normally go? Will you just describe like how our textuals
Yeah, it goes
go?
like this. I asked Laura a question that she doesn't answer.
Yep.
And then like 2 days later, she asks me a question that I immediately answer because I'm very prompt in my responses. And I say, yes, here's my 4 text response to your question. And then nothing. Like, I don't know if you got the answer to the question that you were looking for, or if it worked out for you or what. And then 3 days later, you'll say, hey, I did this cool thing. And I'll be like, cool. How did it go? Did it work out in this way? Nothing. No response. And then like, so then you want to know, like, anyway, so this is how it goes. I ask you a question that you don't respond to. Then you ask me a question that I over respond to. But this is my favorite part. My favorite part is when we're in the middle of an actual conversation, talking back and forth, and then I send you a text and you immediately reply, but it's an auto reply that says, sorry, I'm driving right now and I'm not paying attention to my phone. And if I feel like it, I'll respond to your text in the next 48 hours.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God. Because not only, that's like a giant bait and switch. It's like, oh, she's responding immediately.
Yeah,
no,
you
it's
got
not.
really
it's just like
excited. It's
just a cartoon response. And so then we got on this morning and you were like, hey, you dropped the ball. And I was like, okay. We can talk about that if you want to. But this is where, again, I had to kind of like, what you saw was me sort of go, what am I going to do with
how do I respond to this
feeling that I have right now? Because I think last week we talked about on the podcast, even this idea that like one of my core wounds is feeling ghosted. Like when I put myself in front of somebody and then they just vanish. So like knowing you and knowing that you're all over the place, you got bigger fish to fry, that you're exercising, that you're really motivated around your practice, maybe less so in the like the me world. I sort of can like make room for that. Like I can sort of go, okay, that's fine. But then I also still have to manage that I am dealing with an internal wound or an internal like breach of confidence or trust or just connection that, again, I actually think one of the coolest things about growing up and becoming an adult is like learning how to deal with your feelings and manage your feelings and not have to like have a tantrum or have a thing. So and holding many things at once. Like I think people who get into these conversations about right and wrong, or like you did this and so that's bad. I'm kind of like, is it really? Like, the truth is I just didn't like it. It's also pretty annoying, but like the truest thing is I don't like it. And so now I have to figure out how to manage that. Like, do I not like it out loud? Do I not like it privately? Do I not like it to my therapist? Do I not like it to my journal? Do I just get over it? Like, what is the deal?
Okay, hold on. There's like two concepts here that are kind of sticking out to me. One, like, what do I do with that feeling? Do I like it out loud, or do I like it to my therapist? Do I like it with you? Whatever it might be. The other concept that I thought was really interesting is that you said, this is, what did you say? Like, you're kind of giving me an opportunity here to practice or to grow or to just like learn something about myself. And that reminds me of how I say like relate. Well, it's not really, I don't say it. I took it from my buddy Nate, but he says that relationships are human growing machines. And we're constantly reinforcing this idea of growth and change and how to do better. And so I guess all I have to say is you're welcome, because I am here to help grow you.
Man, I really appreciate that. I'm going to accept that gift and just embrace it for all that it's worth.
Can we go back to this idea of like, what do I do with that feeling? Because at first what I saw you do was I said this sort of critical thing. You had a response. I could tell that you had a response. And I get this with my couples all the time where in my role, they are hypervigilant. So they would go, hey, what just happened? I could tell that upset you. What's going on? And let's just say,
you said in my role, they are hypervigilant. Like, what do you mean? Hold on.
Meaning like if I was to embody my clients and they had that dynamic that just happened, like my client says something to their partner that upsets them. I said something to you that upset you. And I could see that you hit the pause button. I was like, ooh, something happened. I think I just upset him in some way. And a lot of my clients get hypervigilant and they want to solve the problem, make it better, do something immediately with that. And so they'll dig. And I don't know if I dug. I think I just said, I can tell that you had a response to that. I don't remember what happened.
I don't remember how that order played out, but I think probably if I make up a story, probably what you did was experience me in a way that was refreshing and surprising.
Totally.
Like, and then you were able to say, what happened there? Like, what is that about? Right. Because I think, I spent a lot of time yesterday talking to this. It was funny. I had a session, it was an hour and a half session. I probably spent 80% of it talking just to her, and he was like a bystander. And we were negotiating terms. We were like literally negotiating about whether or not she could do this very thing. And what we ended up kind of thinking about is, even if you're legitimately upset, even if I was legitimately upset about a real thing that was really bothering me, and I had loads of data, and I fire hosed you with that, with the correct data and a legitimate concern, that conversation's over. Like you don't feel safe. You don't feel willing to lean in. You don't feel, you have to grapple with your own shame that I have just fire hosed on top of you.
Sure.
So for me, it's really a sense of going, okay, what other choices do I have? Because what I want is the response that I want. I want a response that says, it sounds like I need to think about that some more. Or, I can see that that's on your mind and that I want to learn more about it. Or, like I want that. And I wanted her to have that, because she was pretty dug in about her point of view and had kind of committed to what she thought was right and wrong and what he needed to do differently. Yeah. I was like, let's take him out of it. Let's just take him completely out of it. And we did for like almost an hour, a little over an hour. We took him out of the entire thing. And, she left with some ideas that she didn't have before because she was willing to pause within the context of this therapeutic session long enough to consider how to approach him about her concern.
So
which
are
was,
you saying that she was ready with the facts, the figures? I mean, we had that was an Instagram reel that went up this week, but like,
oh, it was a face that he made. She was concerned about a face that he made. And
okay.
she knew that that face meant that he was resentful toward her and that he was going to escalate and lose his temper. She knew for sure that's what the face
Okay.
meant.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, she got protective. She got sad. She got dug in to her point of view. She started to protect. She started to think about escape plans and ways to protect her daughter. And we just spent a lot of time talking about, what if the face doesn't mean that? Like, what if that's not what the face means? And she's like, but it does. And I was like, well, what if it doesn't? But it does mean that, because I've got a lot of precedent. I go, well, actually, you have another precedent, which is he's been showing up here for a year and a half and is actually demonstrably making change. Like, we had to go through this whole like battery of options that were available until she finally said, okay. What she learned how to say was, hey, when you make that face, I get scared.
Totally.
And he's like, I don't want you to be scared. So I can work on the face, but also like, it is absolutely me clenching my jaw so that I don't escalate.
Yeah.
I'm trying a physical thing to do to keep myself from doing the old thing I do, which is scream and yell, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh. And I was like, see?
Yeah.
It's not there yet, but that's part of it.
When she said, so first of all, I would say she has this whole history of, this is what happens when I look at you and something happens and you make that face, then there's this whole trajectory of events that sets off. And I have long-standing history of this sequence of events, which is why I know for certain what this face means. And I think what you were looking for was her to get beyond the confirmation bias that she had. She was trying to prove to you that, like, I have confirmation that this is the biases that I have, that this is the sequence of events that is going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, she had all of the data lined up to support her bias, that she was certain that was what that face meant.
Well, I didn't use the word confirmation bias, but we talk a lot about confirming data and disconfirming data.
Okay.
Like, she's looking for confirming data to back up her hypothesis.
Right.
Which is bad science.
Yeah. Is that a Terry Real thing, by the way, that language?
Nope.
No?
I made that up just now.
Okay, cool.
I just made up bad science. Trademark. Copyright.
You have to give Zach Brittle...
if you ever write the word bad science ever in your... or you say it out loud, you have to copyright me. No, this comes from my increasing perception and belief that the therapy office ought to be a laboratory, ought to be like a scientific laboratory where you really are trying out different things and looking for the kind of the moment where you go, I did not see that coming,
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you that the room itself, I always ask people like, hey, if I give you homework, do you want to try and do this on your own at home? And they're like, no way. Absolutely not. We're not willing to do anything without you. And the reason is they're not in the laboratory. They didn't walk in the door. They didn't put the white coats on. They didn't put their protective gear on. They're not in that confined space of like safety. And so when they come into the office, they're ready to try something new for the first time, and they're in that safe space. That makes complete sense. We're going to try it out.
Well, and what I would say about that is, listen, I don't want to say I get tired of clients, but like there are plenty of clients who use therapy as like a misery stabilizer, meaning it's like the thing that they do to make themselves feel better about their relationship while they do nothing at home.
Okay.
So they just come in and they're just like going through the motions and the conversations are the same. There's not a lot of growth. There's not a lot of change.
Yeah.
And those people are hard to work with. They just so I think people ought to come into my office. I hand them a lab coat. I hand them lab materials, and then they take the lab coat home. I think they ought to do that. And, I have this one story that I kind of can't quite wrap my head around, but I have a couple who had a couple who tried to put this into practice, and we've talked about this before. They call it couch time, where they tried to replicate as much as possible the situation that was in my office. So they made an appointment with one another. They sat on a specific couch. They knew that they were coming without their phones. They were on their best behavior. At the beginning, they pulled up a third chair that they pretended like I was sitting in. I mean, they had a whole bunch of like, they tried an experiment at their house where they tried to replicate the good conversations they had in a therapy office, but in their own house. And I was really proud of them. And let's just say their names were like, I don't know, Tom and Beth or something. That was an opportunity for us to Patreon our people. Be like, hold on. I'm going to name them right now.
You're going to name the clients after our Patreon supporters?
This is, so let's just say their names are Kristen and Tyler. Kristen and Tyler, thank you so much for being a Patreon supporter. But Kristen and Tyler, they disappeared from my practice for like 3 years or something. And then they came back during COVID and they wanted to talk about what was going on for them. And I said, hey, I just want you guys to know, I talk about you all the time. I tell people about couch time and how great a job you guys did. And they said, that wasn't us.
What?
Right. That's what I said. I was like, what? Yes, it was. It was definitely you. They go, no, I've never heard of that before. It's a good idea, but it's not our idea. And I was like, oh no.
Oh shit.
So now I don't know who it was.
Kristen and Tyler have never done couch time.
Kristen and Tyler have never done couch time. But you know who probably have?
Our other two Patreon supporters?
Melissa and Bill. Melissa and Bill. I'm really proud of you for doing couch time and for sneaking up on us in that way.
You crack me up. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I have been, I've had a lot of folks come back into my practice. Actually, one of my very first beloved clients that I ever had when I was a baby therapist working out of Mercer Island. So I had just gotten licensed. I might have even still been like an associate, and I had a practice on Mercer Island. He was one of my very first, most memorable clients, and he reached out to me. I think it's been 12 years. He was like, do you remember me? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Of course I do. But I've had people who have come back, and there is 100%. I wanted to ask you, I know we've kind of talked a little bit about this. I said, what still sticks around from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago? What are you still doing now, or you remember from what we did all those years ago? And it's been a really interesting question because I teach folks a lot of things, and there's only a couple that stick with them. Do you have any practices that folks are still holding on to?
I thought you were asking the opposite question, which is...
like the perpetual tension. What are the issues that are still here? No, I'm asking about what did you teach them?
I'm always surprised when people come back and say, oh, this changed our life. Like, or they'll say something that I said, and I'm like, I said that?
Totally.
The one that I heard most recently is a couple, let's see, what was that couple's name real quick? Their name was, a couple named Bob and Christy came in.
Okay.
And...
Thanks, Bob and Christy.
Hey, Bob, you are a hero. Bob, by the way, is a Patreon supporter at the $25 level, which means he gets nothing extra. He's just doing it out of the kindness of his own heart to support the rest of you.
Good guy.
And Christy is going to be getting her bonus episodes here pretty soon because they are rolling out in the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting. But
can you tell me about Bob and Christy?
Bob and Christy came in. Oh, they said, Christy said, oh yeah, we haven't done You're the One in a long time. And Zach, you taught us that.
You're the one.
And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you know, you're the one who didn't close the fridge. Well, you're the one who didn't well, you're the one who told me that we were supposed to be there at 7, you know, like they, and I can kind of recall what I was probably communicating, which is the idea of anytime you get into a battle where you're like, you're the wanting one another, you're missing the point. Like,
right.
And this was a good, could have happened this morning, right? You're like, you're the one who didn't put anything on Patreon. I go, well, you're the one who didn't do the thing I asked you to do about this. Well, you're the one.
Yep.
And now we're not even really talking to each other. We're just you're the wanting each other and trying to figure out who's going to run out of energy first.
I was just thinking about that. And I also was thinking about the thing that you did today. We all know, as our listeners know, that you are defensive. We all know that Laura's critical. Those play out on air. You can literally hear me being critical, and you can literally hear Zach being defensive. But how long has it taken you to not be defensive in our relationship? We have known each other now long enough, 10 years.
10 years. I mean, it's a weird one to answer, right? Because we earned the right to be critical and defensive with one another, right? We have a, like in a casual friendship, you can't quite pull it off. So I would say the first few years, we were probably very fine. Like there wasn't enough investment. And then
Right.
probably when I started working for you is when I started to notice that I couldn't handle like the style that we had created. And that was in 13, 14,
Okay.
or maybe 15. I don't remember. No, it was
14.
Yeah, it was 15.
Okay.
So then we broke up. Then we like didn't talk to each other for like a year. And then
Really?
Yeah, we just like stopped talking to each other.
Okay.
And then we did that thing in 16 with
For Better.
Yep. And that was a moment that we kind of came back into. And then we started the podcast in 17. So I would say probably by 17, 18, I was like aware of the dynamic, but wasn't doing anything about it on my end. And then, I don't know, maybe, so what's that? 4, 5, 6 years, probably halfway through that, I started like really just kind of wrap my head around it, you know?
Yeah.
I think a big turning point was when we went to Germany, and I was just like taking it all in and trying not to like lose my bananas. And then there's the famous story of getting on a plane on the way home, and you're like, these seats are the best seats ever. I can't believe I wonder why you chose these seats. And I was like, I need you to stop. I just need you to stop talking to me.
I think the point
anything.
I'm trying to make is that
it took me a while. Is the point.
Is that it takes a very long time. Like some people want the immediate results of, I want to be able to change this dynamic. I was teaching yesterday for the Gottman Institute, and somebody asked, they said, we've been married for 20 years. And we have some really deeply ingrained, entrenched behaviors. How long does it take to make changes? And I was like, a really long time. It takes a very long time. Like, you have been defensive your whole life. We are in a relational dynamic between criticism and defensiveness. And it's probably taken us 10 years to get to the point where you pause and you don't, come back with, well, you're the one. And that is probably one of the very first times where I was like, what just happened here? You didn't get defensive. You didn't take the bait. Do I need to be more critical?
Well, thank you for that. And the other thing is, I say this to clients all the time, which is without question, the number one thing I've done on behalf of my relationship is manage my defensiveness, learn how to manage my defensiveness. Like, it's not learn communication. It's not learn conflict skills. It's not, do better date nights or try and explore in the bedroom. It's literally like dial down the defensive part. And it has taken a long time. But the other thing I tell people is it's so fun. It's like so fun to work on and to get like some traction in and to have some success. And like this morning was actually like really fun for me because I was in the laboratory and I think at some level it's almost like a little bit less of a laboratory, more like a playground. Like I was like, hey, I've got options here. I've got things I can play with here.
Oh.
And some of them will hurt, and some of them will hurt Laura, and some of them will hurt. Some of them will make me dirty, and some of them will be really thrilling and fun. And some, so I kind of slowed down long enough just to kind of pick the one that I thought might be the best. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool.
But does it take a long time? Yeah, it takes a long time, but
it does.
It's just like anything else. Like if you're learning how to play guitar, which takes a long time, you have these first kind of hints of a song that you can hear because you're finally got the chord right. And you're like,
that's fun. That's fun.
I can like 3 chord. I can play Free Fallin' now,
yeah.
Which by the way is the only thing I can play on the guitar. And I can't even play the whole thing. I can only play.
I would love to hear that. I have a guitar here at my house when you come to visit. And I'm going to close the loop on the question that you had, which is, do we have the foot massages set up? And I'm going to try and explain this without getting defensive. I was really excited to take you to the foot massage place.
Okay.
And I started looking at the reservations 3 months ago when you and I knew we were going to be doing this. And it turns out that you can only book, I think, 30 within a 30-day window.
Oh, nice.
I missed the 30-day window. I was like 3 months out, then 2 months out, and then I missed it. And they do not have foot massages available.
Why would you get defensive about that?
What do you mean?
You said I'm going to try and say this without getting defensive.
Because oftentimes when you explain explanations, like I give background information, it comes out as defensive, which is why I started by saying I was really excited to take you to a foot massage place, and I blew it.
Okay.
I completely missed the window.
But you put us on the wait list.
They don't really have a wait list, but I did get us back up, and it's a full body, and you're just going to have to deal with the full body massage. Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
It's that place we walked into. Remember when we went in to see if we could get massages before your flight, and we both walked in there together?
Oh.
Do you not want to go there?
Oh, I don't know, man. That was a little...
The guy chatted my ear off.
He did.
He ruined the experience for me. And then, do you know the best part? I think I told you this. I saw him, later that day at
the grocery store. He's like, I'm just making the donuts, man. I'm just trying to pay my bills.
He greeted me at the massage place, and then probably 4 hours later, he was at Petco checking me out. It was a total Gilmore Girl moment.
Nice.
If you know, you know. Anyway. Kirk.
Okay. Did we talk about anything today?
I don't think so. I think we were processing our pain with each other.
Let's talk about this real quick. You guys, the book drops today. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, and I know you are, Edna, today is the day to... I know Edna wakes up at 5 a.m. to listen to Marriage Therapy Radio.
Does she?
I don't know. Probably.
Wow.
And but the book drops today. It's a great way to support Marriage Therapy Radio and Zach and Laura, is to pick up that book here in the first week. So if it's Tuesday the 10th, now is the day. And if it's still in the first week, go ahead and pick up a copy if you haven't done that already. Best way to do that is to go to marriagetherapyradio.com and click on the link that we have there. That's our affiliate link, which means we get a little bit of a kickback, which is cool, because we are still trying to figure out how to keep the lights on for you. Thank you again for becoming Patreon members, all of you who made your cameos in our time today. Let's see, who was that? We had Tyler,
Bob and Tyler,
Bill and Kristen, and
not a Bob, a Bill.
And where's that? Where's my chant? Oh yeah, Bob. Oh, we did a Bob. Bob's the.
Oh, we did do a Bob.
Bob's the over and above guy. So, you know who we have on here? We have an Arwen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Arwen.
Can I just explain something that I've been thinking a lot about, because I honestly just want to keep recording. Like, all I want to do is I want to go back, rewind 7 years ago, where you and I just get on, we hit record, and we just put our voices out there. And I just want to continue to serve. Yeah. And the hard part, the thing that I'm having a hard time with is, how do you serve and continue to do this while also not having to pay out of pocket?
I understand.
To make it happen.
I understand.
And there is like the tipping point where it's like you could become an influencer, and that's what influencers do. And that's the world of podcasting. And it is nails on a chalkboard. I want nothing to do. I don't want anybody to know anything about me. Yeah. But I want to just put my stuff out there. And
I hear you, man. Like, it is it's an interesting one. But every time I think about not doing the podcast, I get sad, because I like talking to you and I like having this platform. It actually helps me work some stuff out. So if you don't want to make Zach sad, or Laura, wistful. No, I don't know what the word is, but
I don't know.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys.
We do.
Buy the book. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for participating with us on Patreon. And we'll get back to you next week.
All right. Well, let's just land this plane then. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Adios.
See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Marriage Therapy Radio. Our book, it is released September 10th. If you're looking to purchase the book, which we would love for you to do to support Marriage Therapy Radio, go to our website, click on the link. That's the affiliate link. We get a small little boosty on our end that helps us keep the lights on. Thanks so much for all of your time and attention, making your relationship better today than it was yesterday.